Understanding the grip of addiction. Have you ever felt trapped by something, unable to stop even though you knew it was bad for you? That feeling, my friend, is the essence of addiction. It's like being stuck in a whirlwind, powerless to escape its pull. But understanding this complex condition is the first step towards breaking free. Addiction is not simply a matter of willpower. It's a chronic disease that affects the brain, much like diabetes or heart disease. It's characterized by an overwhelming and uncontrollable urge to engage in a particular behavior or consume a specific substance despite its harmful consequences. Imagine a lion chasing its prey. It's driven by an innate instinct to hunt, an urge it can't ignore. Addiction works similarly. It hijacks your brain's reward system, making you crave the object of your addiction with an intensity that overshadows everything else. But here's the good news. Addiction is treatable. With the right knowledge, support, and determination, you can break free from its grip and reclaim your life. And when we hear the word addiction, our minds often jump to substances like drugs or alcohol. While these are indeed powerful forms of addiction, it's crucial to understand that addiction goes far beyond substances. Think about it. Have you ever felt an uncontrollable urge to check your phone every few minutes? Or perhaps you find yourself constantly scrolling through social media, losing track of time. These are examples of behavioral addictions, and they're becoming increasingly prevalent in our tech-driven world. Technology addiction, food addiction, gambling addiction, shopping addiction. These are just a few examples of the diverse forms addiction can take. The object of addiction itself is not the defining factor. It's the compulsive behavior and the inability to stop despite negative consequences that characterize this complex condition. Recognizing the various forms of addiction is crucial because it helps us understand that anyone can be affected. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a human condition that requires empathy, understanding, and support. To truly understand addiction, we need to delve into the fascinating world of the brain. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and reward. When we engage in activities we enjoy, our brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Imagine biting into a delicious piece of cake. Your brain registers this as a pleasurable experience, releasing dopamine and creating a positive association. Now imagine eating that same cake every day. Over time, your brain becomes accustomed to this dopamine rush and starts producing less of it, requiring you to eat more cake to achieve the same level of pleasure. This is what happens in addiction. The constant surge of dopamine caused by the addictive behavior rewires the brain's reward system. The brain becomes so fixated on the object of addiction that it craves it intensely, even when it's no longer pleasurable. This rewiring also affects other areas of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making and impulse control. This explains why individuals struggling with addiction may find it challenging to make rational decisions and resist cravings. Addiction is a complex condition with multifaceted roots. It's not caused by a single factor, but rather a combination of genetic predispositions, environmental influences, and psychological factors. Think of it like a perfect storm. Genetics might make someone more susceptible to addiction, like a vulnerability to strong winds. Environmental factors, such as exposure to trauma, abuse, or peer pressure, act as the rain and thunder, creating a fertile ground for addiction to take root. And psychological factors such as stress, anxiety, or depression are like the lightning strikes, igniting the flames of addiction. For instance, someone with a family history of addiction might be genetically predisposed to having a more sensitive reward system. If this person then experiences trauma or chronic stress, their brain might seek solace in addictive behaviors as a way to cope with the overwhelming emotions. Understanding the interplay of these factors is crucial because it allows us to approach addiction with empathy and avoid placing blame. Addiction is not a character flaw, it's a complex interplay of nature and nurture. Section 5. A friend's struggle, addiction's real face. I remember a close friend from university, Sarah, who was battling a gaming addiction. On the surface, she seemed like any other student, attending classes and socializing, but beneath the surface, she was fighting a silent battle against an unseen enemy. She would spend countless hours in her dorm room, glued to her computer screen, neglecting her studies and withdrawing from social interactions. The vibrant, outgoing Sarah I knew was slowly fading away, replaced by a shadow of her former self. It was heartbreaking to witness her struggle. She knew she was trapped in a vicious cycle, but the pull of the game was too strong to resist. She was irritable when she wasn't gaming, her grades were plummeting, and she was visibly exhausted. Sarah's story is a stark reminder that addiction can affect anyone, regardless of their background, age, or social status. It taught me that addiction is not a sign of weakness, but a cry for help, a desperate attempt to numb pain or fill a void. Section 6. Breaking Free. Your journey to recovery. Breaking free from the clutches of addiction is a challenging but achievable feat. It's a journey that requires courage, self-compassion, and a willingness to seek support. Remember, you are not alone in this battle. The first step towards recovery is awareness. Acknowledge that you have a problem and that you need help. This is often the hardest step, as denial and shame can be powerful barriers. Once you've acknowledged the issue, it's essential to replace unhealthy habits with healthy ones. If you're struggling with technology addiction, for instance, try engaging in activities that bring you joy offline, such as reading, painting, or spending time in nature. Seeking support is crucial. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or support group. Sharing your story and connecting with others who understand can provide invaluable comfort, encouragement, and accountability. Remember, recovery is not a linear process. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way. But each step you take towards recovery, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. Section 7. Triumph over addiction, stories of hope. The path to recovery might seem daunting, but countless stories of triumph over addiction serve as beacons of hope. These stories remind us that no matter how dark the night, dawn is always just beyond the horizon. Take the story of Demi Lovato, a renowned singer and actress who has been vocal about her struggles with addiction. She openly shares her journey to recovery, inspiring millions with her resilience and determination. Her story is a testament to the fact that recovery is possible even after multiple relapses. Another inspiring example is the story of Brené Brown, a renowned researcher and author who has spoken candidly about her struggles with addiction and how seeking help transformed her life. Her story highlights the importance of vulnerability and the power of human connection in overcoming addiction. These stories, and countless others like them, demonstrate that recovery is not merely a distant dream, but a tangible reality. They remind us that within each of us lies the strength and resilience to break free from the chains of addiction and embrace a brighter future. Section 8. You are not alone. Reach out and rise above. If you're struggling with addiction, remember that you are not alone. Millions of people worldwide are fighting similar battles, and countless others have emerged victorious. Reach out, seek help, and embrace the journey to recovery. Remember the poignant words of Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Your journey might be challenging, but it's a journey worth taking. It's a journey towards freedom, self-discovery, and a life filled with purpose and meaning. So take that first step, reach out for support, and remember you are stronger than you think. You are worthy of recovery, and a brighter future awaits.